And this is how I got my podcast started, was here in Poway, talking to candidates that were running for election for city hall, for mayor, for school board. And it served as a great launching point for my podcast. So I still follow a lot of what's going on in Poway, but I try to expand the breadth and scope of what I share on this podcast into other categories. But look at here. I mean, Vanessa Springett to replace Tony Blain in Poway. Could this happen? Well, this is interesting to me. Now number one, we've covered the whole Tony Blain saga here in Poway, and all the, there was a headline in the San Diego Union-Tribune about the circus has left town. And all the disruption from Tony Blain here in town. He was tried, or he's being accused of bribery, of perjury, and a number of other different offenses. He is indicted by the district attorney. He has been recalled by the voters in early November, and then he resigned from office. So now there is a vacancy in that seat, and there's 3 years left to go in that term. And so they're going to have another election, but they haven't said when the election is going to be. It might be in April as a special election, or it might be in June linked with the California primary, which is a bigger election, and it would not just be a one-off thing. And so this is only for District 2 in Poway, which is like Green Valley and the Heritage and, the farm and Bridlewood and High Valley. That's kind of, generally speaking, what District 2 is. I'm sure I'm leaving out certain neighborhoods, but that's the majority of it. They're going to have another election, but they haven't announced the date. And in fact, I don't know if they've even started accepting candidate submissions for this office. But I did notice that Vanessa Springett is already campaigning, and she had a meeting with the Poway Democratic Club. And you're thinking, okay, who's Vanessa Springett? Vanessa ran for District 2 last year in a three-way race with Tony Blain and with Jared Wilson. And it was a three-way race. And of course, Tony Blain ended up winning, but I think he only won with something like 39 or 40% of the vote. It was close because it was a three-way split. Vanessa Springett did not win, but she's already very active in Poway. She's on the Green Valley Civic Association. She might have been on the Poway Budget Review Committee, maybe. But she's also been supportive of the recall of Tony Blain. Now, was she supportive of that because that's her political enemy or her political foe in the District 2 election last year? Or was she active in the recall of Tony Blain because she wanted to replace Tony Blain? Or was she active in the recall of Tony Blain for any number of other reasons? Was it a selfish motive or a noble motive? Maybe she just thought Tony Blain was just a bad dude, need to be removed from office. I don't know what her motivation is there, but I do know that she's likely running. So I think it's cool. I think it's cool that, granted, there's certain things about Vanessa I agree with and I disagree with. But set that aside. It's the fact that she wants this, and she wants to serve her community or be a local politician and have the power to make changes in the community. And she lost the first round, and she's not giving up. She's getting back in the arena. It's like that old Teddy Roosevelt quote about, the man in the arena, guys, with the dust and the sweat, and gets back up and tries again. And those are the people that are in there getting it done, that are making changes, that are trying to move the needle to get things done. And she's jumping back in. And I think that's cool. I mean, we're going to find out more about, what her platform is. I know a big part of her platform last year was opposing the Lifetime Fitness facility at the farm. I was a supporter of Lifetime Fitness, but that's old news. Lifetime Fitness was banned, so it's not included as part of the farm. So now I'm kind of curious to know what some of Vanessa Springett's other ideas are. I know she shared some of them in the last election cycle, but I need to have my mind refreshed. So anyways, the point I'm getting at is that there's activity. There's already some jockeying for position. Will Jared Wilson jump in on this? Maybe. I don't know. Will we see some new candidates jump in? Does Steve Voss, our mayor, have a few people in mind that he might recommend or suggest? Or is Vanessa Steve Voss's recommended candidate? I don't know. I think we're going to find out. What's interesting, though, is that I learned about this news about Vanessa being active campaigning because the Poway Democratic Club posted it with a photo of her talking to the club on their Facebook page. And it was interesting seeing comments from other people in Poway, particularly other Democrats in Poway. And Vanessa was an independent when she ran. She may have been a Republican prior. I'm not sure. But there are a number of people who are saying, I hope the Democratic Club in Poway does not endorse Vanessa Springett. She's too aligned with Steve Voss. We need more progressive candidates, and we need to support them in Poway. And I get that. Will a super progressive candidate win in Poway? It depends how far you go, how far you go left. But my hunch is that Vanessa is probably closer to middle of the road in Poway, based on looking around and the demographics of our town. So we're going to find out more about this, but I'm going to keep tabs on it and share news. If there's new updates on Tony Blain, if we have, if Vanessa is a candidate, I always welcome guests in the podcast studio. So if you're a candidate running for office, you're welcome to join me. I have another chair here for you where you can sit and we can have a nice conversation and learn a little bit more about your platform. So Vanessa, by the way, you're invited to join me if you choose, and we can talk a little bit about Poway and some of your ideas. And any other candidates, either this election cycle or in future election cycles, you're welcome to join me as well. And there, if you want to learn more about that, go to my website at johnrileyproject.com. And yeah, good on you, Vanessa, for jumping back in the arena. Okay. Oh man, this is great. I mean, we went about a little over an hour. It's